Alright, what is up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today I'm back with my second game review here of the 2020-21 season. And honestly, game 2 here for the Flyers, going up against the same Pittsburgh Penguins for Wednesday night. They're coming off the 6-3 win, and I said pretty much the Flyers had to come into this one. They had to generate chances early. They had to get the first goal, and I think they had to really own the pace of play. They did, I'd say, probably one of the three of those things. They ended up getting the first goal, but overall, I think the Penguins really owned the pace of the game, and for the most part, it seemed like they were pretty dominant in the first few minutes of the first here. So, just a couple notes to start off. Same lines. Again, as I talked about before, the first goal was needed. Carter Hart was back in net for this one. We pretty much knew that. The Flyers were wearing their black alternate jerseys tonight as well. So, starting off here in the first period, all Penguins in the first few minutes. Really sloppy play was showing from the Flyers very early in this one. Flyers were barely touching the puck. Again, their first shot on net actually was a goal, and the Penguins were very physical. Couturier ended up getting hit here on his second shift of the game, and it didn't look like a harmful play at all. It was just like one of those little bump plays, and Coots is on the bench. You see that the camera is like he's pointing at his shoulder, talking about his shoulder. He ends up going down the tunnel. He did not come back for this one. The update after the game was that he would get an MRI scheduled for today as I'm recording this on Saturday morning the 16th. So again, you're going to have to see what that MRI holds for Couturier. Hopefully it's not too serious, and it's probably one of the reasons why the Flyers weren't great defensively in this one, because, again, you're losing your -- center, the past season Selke winner, and, you're playing with 11 forwards for most of the game. Pretty much the whole game they played with 11 forwards. So, honestly, that definitely did stink because, again, for the most part, the Flyers don't want to be getting hit with an injury bug, especially with a guy like Couturier very early in the season in the second game. So, Flyers get a power play here at 14:51, too many men. That was the Penguins' second too many men penalty. They had one last game, and they had one this game. Flyers couldn't really get much set up. Ended up having a 5-on-3 here for 9 seconds at the 13-minute mark. Ends up getting killed off, but Konechny scores to make it 1-0 Flyers. Slam dunk play, passes from Giroux and Voracek. Great setup. Giroux, it looked like a really vintage Flyers power play setup. Giroux right over to Voracek, quick pass. He sends it right in front. Konechny's right there on one knee to slam it home. And as I said, the first shot on goal there for the Flyers was a goal. So for the most part, after that, the Flyers really started to get the ball rolling. TK gets another one here at 10:34. Went off his foot as he went to the paint in front. Patrick ended up crashing the net, and Patrick had the puck. He went right in front of the net, was doing some damage in front. Konechny was the one who crashed the net and ended up going off of his skate and in. 2-0 Flyers there. Provorov makes it 3-0 here at 8:30. So when it's a game where like Pittsburgh has really all the momentum at a time, and they take a penalty, give up the first goal, and the Flyers get two pretty quick like that, it's 3-0. Voracek was really patient on the side. He sent it back to Provorov, who cut and absolutely sniped it. And Jari ended up getting pulled after this one. He had a broken stick on this play. And Casey DeSmith ended up coming in there. Pittsburgh gets a power play here at 8:01. And as I talked about before, the Flyers had all the momentum, and it was gone. Just like that. Penguins get 2 goals in 31 seconds. One from Crosby, one from Tanev. Gustafsson, I believe, it looked like he just pinched way too early. McCann speedy down the wing. Tanev tapped it in, and Crosby made a great play in front of the backhand to score and that was for the Penguins' first goal. So right from there, the momentum from the Flyers was just gone. Flyers ended up taking 2 penalties here in the last 5 minutes. Ended up killing them both off. The one that was late in the period ended up having 1:03 of some run over time. But early in the second, as we said before, no Couturier to start the second. You didn't see him come out and try to skate or anything, or try to see if there was anything wrong with his shoulder. But again, he didn't come out for the second. And the report was that the report that came out was that there was going to be a report on Coots that will come out after the game. And that was per the Flyers. So the Penguins, they had the power play run over from the first. Letang ends up taking a hook 18 seconds in, so it's 4-on-4 for 45 seconds, and the Flyers power play was killed off. Flyers were letting up a lot of chances. Zucker breakaway was stopped by Hart. Flyers ended up getting a power play here at 11:53. Farabee was tripped up in the own zone. The Flyers, they get set up, and the Gustafsson shot from the point with nobody in front was probably their best chance of this period. That's how bad the Flyers had a period here in the second. It was just so bad. They had maybe 4 shots the whole period. Couldn't really get much zone time. If they did, and if they had chances to shoot, they were a little too cute at times. They couldn't really get into the zone. Pittsburgh was just, as I said, dominant, speedy down the wing. They just cycled the puck well. They were just more aggressive here in the second period. Flyers ended up getting a power play 4-on-4. McCann had an elbow here. It was a really bad period from the Flyers overall. 4 shots. Braun ended up having to break up a 2-on-1 late here around minute 40. It was just a really bad period. Shots on goal for this period were 10-4 in favor of Pittsburgh, and Hart was really keeping the Flyers in this one. He made some really nice saves. And, you know, overall, as I said, the Flyers had to come out in this third, get some pressure, and finish this one off. And that's what they did. Early pressure on. Hart was not fazed really by anything. Really good start to the third, generating a lot of chances, playing a lot better in the offensive zone, looked a lot more hungrier, to be honest, and they ended up getting a goal here. So, Penguins ended up getting a power play a little bit before the goal. NAK had an offensive zone penalty, and that was the thing. The Flyers took way too many penalties in this game. They have the past 2 games, but the penalty kill has been good, but they have given up a couple goals. You know, again, it's one of those penalties where, like, in a third period, you're up, you're playing better, you're down a forward too. You don't want to be taking an offensive zone penalty. That's what Albie Kubel does. I don't think it was intent. I don't think it was his intent because they called him interference because he was crashing the net, and he essentially just pushed Matheson out of the way, and he just went flying into the boards behind the net. And it was just like, come on. Flyers had a really patient penalty kill. Hart was making saves to kill it off. Flyers ended up getting a power play here, outshot 5-2 on their oown power play. That was another thing that was just annoying. They had the power play, and the Penguins were getting shorthanded chances. It was just like, guys, wake up. Like, I was very happy that they won this game. They didn't play good at all, to be honest. 5-on-5 wasn't great. But again, you know, it is the second game of the season. Obviously, you're still got that early season funk going on where you can't really get into the game, and it's definitely not the way that the Flyers are going to want to play this year at all, to be honest. TK ends up getting a goal here, his hat-trick goal. So Konechny gets a hat-trick in this one. And it was a really nice passing play. G over to Hayes, in front to Konechny, and he tipped it in front. It actually looked like it went off his stick, but it ended up hitting his skate and ended up directing in. He completely whiffed on the swing of his stick there. Letang actually, because this goal ended up scoring because the Penguins had it rushed the other way. Letang missed the pass. The Flyers go the other way. They set it up, and Keith Hayes right in front to slam it home to make it 4-2. Pittsburgh empty net here at 2:40, and the 5-2 goal from Lindblom on the empty net. It was a really good third period for the Flyers overall. They were able to shut it down. You know, they came into the third. You know, it was a really bad second period. But it was good that they came into the third period. They shut it down. They ended up getting 2 goals, one being an empty netter. And now they have 4 points in the first 2 games of the season here. And they are still on the road to go 56-0 this season here in the NHL. So, again, it was a pretty solid effort from the Flyers in this game. I mean, obviously losing Couturier hurt. Hopefully it's nothing too serious going into these next 2 games against Buffalo. So for the schedule coming up for the Flyers, as I said, next 2 games are Buffalo, Monday and Tuesday night, both at home, and then you have Thursday and Saturday night there against Boston, and they are both on the road for this week coming up. So gonna have to see what happens here with Couturier. Remember, guys, podcast, articles, those links are on my channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys in the next one, and goodbye.